Hey guys, Ben Belack here, Beverly Hills super realtor. Welcome to my driving tour through Bel Air. So I just finished having lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I'm so excited to take you through a portion of the largest residential zone in all of Los Angeles. Now, if you are looking to buy or sell in Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Malibu, or the greater Los Angeles area, you can contact me via the links below. So as we approach the East Gate here, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can get a driver's perspective. So heading eastbound, we're at the intersection of Beverly Glen and Sunset, but as we turn right through the faux gates of the East Gate of Bel Air, Beverly Glen becomes Bel Air Road. We are approaching Bellagio Road, which is a beautiful east-west connecting artery between Lower Bel Air, particularly the entrance around the West Gate and the East Gate. If you take Bellagio continuing westbound, you would hit Stone Canyon, which has tremendous pedigree living on that street, but of course, that'll take you to the Bel Air Country Club, as well as the famed Hotel Bel Air, where Wolfgang Puck runs food and beverage. I heard recently that the Bel Air Country Club is $180,000 initiation. So here's the bottom of St. Cloud. We're going to see St. Cloud up here higher too, which actually Ronald and Nancy Reagan lived in a house on St. Cloud after they left the White House, which actually was later purchased by the former owner of a house we're about to see the outside of. And when I say see the outside of, I really mean it, because as you can see on this drive-through tour already, it feels like we're driving through Connecticut just with the sun out. People buy in Bel Air for land. Most of these homes start at an acre, particularly in the lower area where it's most desired, and go up into the many acres. But being close to Sunset, which is our southern border, the 405, which is our western border, and Beverly Hills and Holmby Hills to the east and Mulholland to the north, people want to be lower down on the hill. You're going to get some glimpses. Oh, this is Questaway, which is a very small street. And down that street, actually, Jay-Z and Beyonce bought a house for $88 million about 6 years ago. So what are these beautiful trees, you ask? Well, these line the perimeter of one of the most important residential offerings in the U.S. It was recently sold by a billionaire to another billionaire. It's the Chartwell estate, of course. It officially, even though we're on Bel Air Road, has a Nemes address. Nemes, another small street in Bel Air, which we're going to see shortly. It started as around 4 acres or so, but the owner ended up buying a lot of neighboring properties, and it ended up becoming more like 11 acres. Look at this house just really quick to the left. I love this house. Look at how beautiful that is. As we continue up the road here, you just see how large the Chartwell estate is. Lachlan Murdoch paid $150 million for it, making it, of course, a record sale in LA, and I believe the second highest price home ever sold in the US. Right here on the left is a street called Strada Vecchia, which, of course, it is a small street, and it houses the doomed 30,000 square foot masterpiece by famed celebrity developer Mohammed Hadid. The city ordered that it be torn down. I think there's a lot more to those lawsuits when it comes to the Los Angeles residents versus developers than just those neighbors. Anyway, we are working our way, of course, through these beautiful tree-lined streets. And as you'd imagine, if you have a big, massive home, you're going to want it to be private from the street. To our right, 908 Bel Air Road is currently listed, built in 2018, at $99 million. 9 bedrooms with over twice as many bathrooms. And as you can see here on the right, we have, of course, 924 Bel Air Road, which is Bruce Makowski's 38,000 square foot monument to opulence, which came with, I believe, like $40 million worth of cars, staff. That was originally priced, I believe, at $200 million, dropped to $150, and just sold for $94 million. By the way, which I forgot to mention there, at that intersection of Nemes, maybe the second best street in all of Los Angeles, and you don't hear a lot about it. And it's by design. Elizabeth Taylor called Nemes her home for 3 decades. She was notoriously having guests over that she knew her home was open. 616 Nemes is Lion Gate, formerly owned by singer Kenny Rogers. It was purchased and expanded and sold for $46 million back in 2015. And the list goes on. But as you can see, as we continue up Bel Air Road here, houses get a little bit smaller. And of course, the price range gets a little bit more accessible. Why? Because people don't want to drive 20 minutes up and down from Sunset each time. At the top here, some of these homes actually have a wonderful water view of the Stone Canyon Reservoir, which you can't swim in or fish, but it really does feel like a cool nature view, which you wouldn't expect to get in Los Angeles. Now, if we were to go down the hill that I'm driving up, on the left side, we would get glimpses of incredible city views. So you're kind of getting it all in Bel Air. So where Beverly Hills was capping out at 20, maybe $30 million, these homes, they can push 3 times that. Chartwell was, I should say, it broke a record in LA, which was formerly held by the Spelling Manor, which had sold in July the same year for around $120 million. Also listed for $200 million initially. That pretty much wraps up the east gate of Bel Air. And some of these homes you can pick up, by the way, in the $2 million range. So completely different as we head up towards our northern border at Mulholland. I hope you enjoy my driving tours. I'm going to link to another one and also a comparison to Beverly Hills versus Bel Air, what it's like living in each. And I really appreciate you all continuing to support this channel so we can continue bringing you more free content, market updates, and Los Angeles market real estate news.